Hello everyone, my name is SurrealBelief and welcome back to another online battle. And today again I have Tokshen with me playing as the Empire while I'm also playing the Empire. I don't know if you want to go over your build first, Tokshen.
Sure, I will. Hello, how's it going everybody? So this time I decided to try out a Luminarch of Hysh. It's very expensive artillery that does single shot damage. It's like every 30 seconds, I think, or so. My gun line, I have 3 riflemen backed up by some halberdiers and then a couple spearmen with shields. I got a lot of anti-large in my build, specifically because we're going up against the vampire counts and chaos, both of which can bring monstrous creatures. And then I also brought 2 Hellblaster volley guns for their anti-armor piercing capabilities, and a group of Demigryph knights that also have halberds. And the deployment was very fast, and I wasn't actually able to get my greatswords in my area, so they're going to be lagging a bit behind. But what did you bring?
Okay, let's see. Right now you're fighting Chaos, I'm fighting the Vampire Counts, and I brought in a little bit of a different build. I usually bring in only guns, but today I brought in crossbows. I brought in, let's see, 4 groups total of that, I believe. If I didn't do that, I then brought at least, I think, 2 groups of gunners, or maybe I didn't bring any at all. I'm looking at it right now. I don't think I have any guns at all. I did bring in 2 groups of my Demigryph Knights, which are fantastic. I brought in 2 Great Cannon because they're by far the best bang for your buck, and I made a bad pun, so forgive me for that. And then I brought in a few Spearmen just because I'm not a huge fan of them, but they can be okay if you've got some leftover gold. And then I brought in some Halberds, of course, and finally a group of Great Swords. And I brought in Gelt and a Bright Wizard. And I have Vampire Counts coming my way. Now, I would like to note in the very beginning, things were a little bit stacked against you because they brought in a Terrorgeist and a Vargulf, but I didn't have to fight them in the very start. They came only after you.
Yeah, they do come after me, which is pretty crazy. Because with the Giants, it also makes that I have to deal with a lot of terror for my troops. And we don't have the highest leadership. We're not dwarves here, so...
Right. And I'm looking at what's happening right now. You're beginning to focus on that giant on your right flank, and you nearly have it down, which is really, really great. But your Luminarch did get 1 hit off, which did quite a bit of damage, but I think that is like really one of the only 2 times that it does hit in the very start. And I'm looking at what you did with your knights, and I think what happened, you went after Kholek in the very beginning.
Oh, with my Demigryph Knights?
Right.
Yeah. And that's probably not a fight they actually wanted to have.
Not at all. I mean, they did a lot of damage, but yeah, they were right in the midst of it. And then over on my side, you're currently moving your great swords. They're trying to flee and get to your side of the fight while I'm over here shooting a lot with my crossbows. I never use crossbows, but I really need to. I mean, if you're not fighting a very heavily armored foe, they can do a lot of damage. If you look at the Vampire Count's left flank, I end up taking a lot of their skeleton spearmen out completely, and I do a lot of damage.
And that's even when they have shields too, so they even can block arrows, but yeah, you can still kill enough of them.
Right, because what you need to keep in mind is that they can actually fire over your men behind them, which is fantastic. Whereas if you have guns, you can't do that, and right now my foe's beginning to charge in with their Black Knights, and they kind of pursue me through a gap, but that was actually an intentional gap. If you look at what they do here, they move in, and they do some damage, not a big deal. I have my Demigryph Knights on the left flank, holding off their Hex Wraiths, and then on the middle, I surround them completely. Their Knights will be trapped. I don't know what's happening on your side now.
I'm just dealing with the Firestorm, and this is when the Terrorgeist is definitely in the middle of my troops trying to give me some terror, and it's working. Their strategy of getting the monstrous creatures into my lines while their spearmen were going after you worked against me. Because you can see my leadership is just failing, and we're starting to rout.
And then when we go back to my side, their Black Knights are losing it. I mean, they're dying quickly. Again, I made a formation where I wanted them to actually fold into the middle of my formation in order for me to trap them, and that did work out. Now, my Demigryph Knights were able to really tear them up. I mean, their Hex Wraiths could not do very much, and I just watched a Luminarch fire a shot that missed again, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, you would think with something that costs so much money that it would be like 100% accurate. Because it takes so long to fire, it's cost so much money, but I wasn't really impressed with the Luminarch in this battle.
Right. Now, as I told you prior to when we did start, I really think to bounce it out, maybe give it 2 less shots, but make sure it hits each time. Then it might be okay. But I mean, it should at least be able to take out 1 giant on its own.
Yeah, because a giant is even costs less than a Luminarch does.
Right, right. Okay. And then you're beginning to pull back to my line. And at that point, I'm beginning to clean up my foe over here. Now, again, vampire counts take forever to break because why? They do not just flee. They have to be broken down completely. So I have to fight them for a long period of time. And the entire time while we're playing, you should note that my crossbowmen are shooting the entire time, which is amazing. And I should definitely bring them a lot more.
And also, my poor Karl Franz on Death Call got chased down and murdered.
Right.
Which did not help my side at all. But yeah, like you said, I'm going to your right flank because there's not much left to do. I'm not going to just sit out there in the middle and get picked off by the chaos. So we'll do what I can to reform and assist you against their now combined force of vampire counts and chaos.
Now, I'm going to let people know that even if you get completely torn up, you should definitely fall back to where your ally is at. You can still do a lot of damage and help them out. Like, I was actually very shocked about how much you were able to do because you did lose Karl, and usually when you lose your leader, you're kind of done for. But no, you did a lot of damage, and right now, I killed their giant. He didn't have a lot of health left, and now he's dead.
Do they have another giant after this, though? Or is that the last one?
They had two. Okay. That might be the last one, but they did have Kholek, who's quite huge, and you did a lot of damage to him, so it didn't really take too much for me to take him down. He does use another Lord of Storm ability on me to kind of break up my formation. Yep.
And at this point, they still have a full health Terrorgeist and a Varghulf on your right flank, and that's kind of what I'm going to try and deal with most of the time while your Demigryph Knights here are holding off the Chaos Knights.
Right. And unfortunately for him, he didn't try to draw them back out, and if you look on my left flank, I'm trying to focus on Kholek right now, which is actually working out. He began to charge, I'm not too sure why. I brought out my spearmen, who are very cheap. They're very, very cheap, so, I mean, if it took one entire group to kill a Kholek, big whoop. But yeah, he's about to die, I'm pretty sure. If not here, he's nearly dead. Oh, look at him go. Shooting at him more. Oh, they do have one giant left who's not quite dead.
Oh, yeah, he's about to get into your lines here, I see.
But then I kill not only Kholek, but I know the giant is about to go too. Come on, get him. There we go.
I like Kholek's death animation.
Oh, it's great. Very dramatic. Okay, right now I am surrounding his Chaos Warriors and using a Plague of Rust to get rid of their armor completely. Oh, and if you look at my main line, what I did, I actually made a line behind his own line that was attacking my first line in order to cut them off completely, which worked out.
Oh, I see. I did not notice that during the battle, yeah. That's pretty cool.
And now I have over here all of my bows actually shooting at their Chaos Warriors, and that's working out quite well. If I remember right, we tear them up completely right here. Oh yeah, they're being shot up. Wow.
You're also sending some more Demigryph Knights against their Varghulf. They're going to do pretty well against that since they're anti-large. Demigryph Knights are just so good. They're just so...
Probably a little bit too good, in my own view. They're a little bit too good, but... Hey.
And right now I'm trying to tie down the Terrorgeist with my one group of Greatswords that is left. I'm trying to shoot down with my rifles, but they don't really have a great shot because of my Greatswords are getting in the way.
Right.
And my men just kind of keep routing and keep reforming. It's very heroic of the Empire to stick in.
I think it kind of worked out that you had that group start on the left of my flank. I mean, they were able to stay till the very end, which kind of did work out because, I mean, you did actually end up keeping that Terrorgeist down, which gave me, like, with you on my right flank, I was able to keep on shooting the entire time. Like, I completely destroyed their line because of that.
I'm honestly kind of surprised that the Vampire Count player tried to go after my little shattered units instead of just dropping that Terrorgeist like in the middle of your crossbows. Considering, like you said, they've been firing this whole time, and this is a flying monstrous creature that could do a lot of damage to them and possibly rout them with maybe some more charges from knights or such.
Right. I mean, they had a lot of knights, but they didn't really use them all together. But I will say we had a much stronger fight in our current match here. Usually we're fighting 2 versus 1 because they're not trying to work as a team. But here, they actually worked as a team, and they did pretty well. It's just that I think our unit composition was a little bit better, and they didn't try to surround me in any way. Like, if you look at my build here, my lines are deep, and they're not able to really break that at all. I keep them pinned down, and I shoot them the entire time. But yeah, they didn't try to take out my crossbowmen, who just shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot. Like, no.
just non-stop. I'm watching them
Right.
shoot the Terrorgeist right now. That Terrorgeist must have eaten
Would
like
not
1,000 arrows or crossbow bolts or whatever.
Right. It did not want to die. And my Great Cannon currently has nearly 100 kills at 72. Great Cannon are great, and I find that they really do need to boost out how the other artillery does work, or at least like their damage output, because they're not really worth your time. Like, I don't think I've had a point where I've gone, yeah, I'm glad I didn't take a Great Cannon.
Now, can that Great Cannon actually fire over your troops' position like
Yep.
it is? Oh,
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I gotta try that then. I was thinking that your line of sight would be blocked.
Oh no,
in
no,
that
no,
situation.
they shoot like almost the entire time. It's really great. They've actually got a pretty good arc too.
I'm actually
Okay,
noticing
if
that Vargulf is still alive. They actually killed your Dimmigraph
Yeah.
Knights. I thought
Yeah.
your Knights killed it. Oh, wow.
That was actually very, very strange. Yeah, I think they were pretty tired at that point. I'm not too sure. But yeah, that Vargulf did a lot of damage, which was very strange. 34 total kills right now. Okay, and you actually held up that Terrorgeist almost the entire time. It's finally beginning to flee.
Finally. It's been in the fight for so long. Getting focus fired by crossbows, by guns. That thing took a lot of damage.
A lot of damage. And let's see, I buff up my party with stand your ground and hold the line. Hold the line, not very important, only when they're charging, but it does give you 8 more leadership, which is great. Okay, here's where I believe we do win. I don't remember if we kill their leader or if they just begin to break. I'm not too sure, but their leadership is beginning to fall big time. That Vargulf is about to go down too.
Yeah, it looks like it's leadership. Yeah, so it's currently dying due to lack of leadership. Or binding, I
Right.
think as they call it.
Right. And here comes my leader going after good old Himmler, not Himmler, right.
I love Heinrich Himmler.
Oh man. He's actually very, very good. But yeah, it was a very interesting fight. I mean, they just kind of got bound up. I feel like my army build was just a little bit too much for them to deal with. I mean, if they had artillery, it probably would have changed up their game. But unfortunately, those two factions do not have that. But
Well,
that was their battle.
the Chaos do have those hell cannons, but yeah, they didn't choose to bring any. I'm still not sure how good those are, to be honest.
Those can be very, very good, but they're meant to be used as a supplemental tool. If they hit you once, your leadership will plummet. And if you could imagine what he could have done to me, I mean, we were all blocked up. He would have done a lot of damage to me. If I look at my kills right now, okay, my Great Cannon, one of them got over 100 kills. My Knights, a lot of kills. My crossbows did extremely well, and they're very cheap too, which is great. I'm gonna go take a look at your build real quick and how things were going. The Luminarch got 1 kill.
1 kill. My Hellblaster volley guns. None of my artillery was worth the amount of money I spent on
No.
them. My Dimmigraph Knights only got 4 because, like you said, I sent them after Kholek, and I think I was micromanaging somewhere else, and they just went
Right.
into the lines of chaos, and they got destroyed because I mismicroed. Great Swords did okay, but I think that's because they didn't even get to the fight until after I was already shattered by all of the
Right.
monstrous creatures. Yeah, I did not do super well this time.
I really do think when you're playing as a human player, you definitely want to go for having more men. When you try to go for like very expensive things, it doesn't really work out because usually other teams who have more expensive creatures end up doing better overall. But if you have a bunch of cheap troops, like your handgunners at the very start did extremely well. They nearly killed a giant in like the first shot. Like it took them, I think, 2 volleys or whatever that you want to call it to take him down, but it was very, very quick. I mean, they didn't quite kill him, but they nearly killed him in the very start, which was very good, and they're very cheap. So, as I may have mentioned in the past, you definitely want to think about the overall cost effectiveness of what you bring into a fight. So if you bring in some Iron Drakes and are getting like 20 kills per match, they're not worth your time.
And if you're bringing in a Luminarch that gets 1 kill per match and only hits maybe like 3 of the 7 shots, definitely not worth your time and your money.
Yep. All right. Well, that will end our match, and look forward to more. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.